Hi there! Today, I'm going to show you how to set up guided selling in SaleSqueze. Guided selling allows you to categorize your products and product options to help your customers choose a product that best fits their requirements. It's implemented as a set of steps that guide the prospect to the best-fitting product, saving them time and frustration in the process. To use guided selling, you'll need to enable the component in the showroom settings. Go to Settings, then click on Settings under the Showroom module. Scroll down to the Browse page settings, then select Guided Selling in the Component drop-down selector. Once you've created your guided selling flow, you'll select it in the Guided Selling drop-down selector below. Let's look at an example guided selling flow. This is what the back end of the flow I showed you in the beginning of the video looks like. As you can see, we have several connecting screens, and each screen represents a simple choice for the customer. The entry screen has main product categories, then the next screens have product types, and then the last screen has product lines. After selecting an option on the final screen, the customer is taken to a product configurator with certain features pre-selected based on what they chose in the previous steps. In SaleSqueze Studio, go to Guided Selling in the left panel menu. Click on the Add Guided Selling button in the top right corner of the screen, then select Basic Flow. Set a key and title to the flow. To start building, right-click anywhere in the canvas, then select Add Screen. Each screen represents one of the steps users will go through. Click on the screen to display screen settings in the Toolbox panel. Here, you can set a title and subtitle for the screen, add options, and configure its appearance. Each option added to a screen represents a selection that users will be able to make. With the screen selected, click on Add Option in the Toolbox panel. In the Add Option modal, give your new option a title and upload an image. Then, assign an action. What happens when the customer clicks on the option? There are 6 possible actions you can add to each option, and you can use more than one for combined effect. Set Products Filter lets you apply a filter that affects what's shown on the next screen, and it overrides any previously set filters. For example, if you have different product categories or product lines, you can let the customer select a category or product line and filter out all other products. Add Product Filter lets you apply filters in addition to previously set filters. Use this if you have product subcategories and are using several steps in your guided selling flow. Set Feature Defaults lets you apply a default value to the specified features, and it overrides any previously set feature defaults. You could use this to let the customer set a default value for a feature that's used in multiple configurators, for example, dimensions. Add Feature Defaults lets you apply default values to specified features in addition to previously applied feature defaults. Set Product Configuration allows you to direct a consumer to a configurator with pre-selected product options. It's useful if you're using a single configurator for multiple variations of your product, and if your customers don't have the technical know-how to configure the product correctly. Finally, the redirect action lets you send the customer to a custom URL address. You might use this if you've got multiple product lines hosting on separate websites. You can customize the appearance and layout of each screen using the card layout settings in the lower section of the toolbox. Here, you can configure separate layouts for different screen resolutions. We recommend configuring at least 2 different layouts to cover mobile and desktop users. There are 6 resolutions available, and the XS is enabled by default. To activate additional resolutions, click on the relevant tab and select a template for it. For each resolution, you can choose how many items you want to display per row, set a gap between items, and add extra horizontal padding. Click on Template Settings to customize the appearance of your cards and align them with your website and brand. Select a card style and toggle the elements you want to display on each card. By default, all elements are disabled, which means that only the options image appears on the card. You can add elements like a gradient, overlay, name, summary, and button. Choose a card size and configure font settings for your option name and summary, if enabled in the element picker. You can also set color for your gradient or overlay, if enabled. You can also set a fixed image aspect ratio and image size. This lets you tidy up your page, look and feel, especially if your product images don't all have the same aspect ratio or size. One final note on card layout settings. Once you're happy with your card layout appearance, you can simply copy and paste the settings to other resolutions or even other screens. To connect screens, you first need to have created at least 2 screens and added at least one option to the former screen. Then just click on the connector next to the option you want to connect and drag it to the next screen's connector. An arrow will appear in the canvas area, visually connecting the points together. To delete a connection, move your cursor over the arrow between 2 connectors. Click on the red X icon that appears. Once you're finished with your guided selling flow, make sure you set the first screen in your flow as the entry point screen.